and now I'm on SBL.
Beautiful.
What's that? Yeah, that's fine. You can come down a bit. Come down to 15. 15 delta. We don't want to yank it. Right? We don't want to yank on Herc's tail.
What we need is altitude control that controls off the shallowest altitude in the Norbit swath.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. Done some of this with IVA 3D and survey skid with that INS, and I did the whole bunch of stuff in Tonga Trench, mapped the whole caldera. We wound up going auto depth because the terrain was so radical you couldn't do altitude.
Yeah. No, this is kind of a good test survey site. There's enough features that you can line stuff up and see that it's working well, but it's also not a nightmare for DVL tracking and collision avoidance.
Yeah, we wound up actually flying the vehicle off the multi-beam.
Yeah. Yeah, we've done that here before.
Got all the data you need there, right?
Yeah.
Well, until you don't, but. It was especially nice when you start doing, 500 meter multiple, 500 to a kilometer long multiple swaths, because you're getting your overlap, so you have an idea when you turn around and come back.
Right.
What you've been over already, so kind of.
Yeah.
Now you got this hill or that valley or this cliff.
Yeah. Well, this should all actually align pretty well by the time. I don't have DVL or USBL piped in here yet. I'm recording it, but I just haven't had time to fuse it in the nav solution.
All right.
Once we do that, we shouldn't have these huge alignment issues after some of this. Help keep everything sort of in place.
So will it take you longer to process all this?
Yeah,
to actually map it?
Probably. Once we got it, like with our other systems where it's all dialed, it's basically ready to go right out of the.
Really?
Yeah.
No post-processing?
The Norbit data comes out very, very clean.
Oh, yeah.
So like with our surface vessels, we just take it off and like mesh it or grid it and done.
Oh.
But this is my first survey since with this system once we've done all the upgrades.
All right.
So there's a lot to comb through.
Being out 2 meters.
You don't have to go through and manually trim off the edges and all that?
I might, but if we get things, if things align well enough, we shouldn't need to.
Like the ship and Argus are getting further and further apart here. I'm not sure what's going on there. Always press the wrong damn button. Yeah, so is it me that's... Yeah, so Herc's 125 and the ship's 121. Communication breakdown. I'm going insane.
Bring out another 2.
Wonder why the ship is 121. He should have been 125. You might change him to 130. Otherwise, he's going to pull us off the line. We got another 100 meters to go. What do you think?
Yeah, we can.
You guys are good at math. Are we going to make it? We're deviating by, we're 4 degrees off. You can see him pulling Argus over a little.
I mean, honestly, we could probably, we started the first line early. So if we go just another, I don't know, another 10 meters or so, we can.
Yeah, no, we'll probably make it. We'll see. He can change his bearing on the fly though.
Looks like we also, our lines aren't super parallel.
No, the ship's doing 121, we're doing 125, and we're getting further and further apart. So it's...
Well, I'm saying the survey lines aren't.
Oh, yeah.
So we're not gonna, well, okay.
Why wouldn't they be parallel? Is that the DVL drift?
No, the USBL is kind of tracked through there.
Oh, yeah.
The heading might have not been set right.
All right.
Or, yeah, well, no. It might be DVL drift because the thing's going to control off of DVL, right? So
Yeah.
that's true.
And it seems to always drift starboard.
Okay. We should, maybe on the next one, we'll keep an eye on that and make minor heading adjustments along the way.
Bob claims it always drifts starboard. I don't know.
Yeah.
Rennie says sometimes he gets it one way and then sometimes then
Yeah.
it
I mean, over
its
terrain
bearing.
and stuff, who knows?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I'm out. I'll give you back to Mike. You good?
Yeah, we're doing great. We could probably get the ship stopped here. By the time it settles out, we'll be at the end of the line.
All right, I'll give us an all stop.
Yeah.
Bridge nav, all stop, please.
Yep, then just send us over another 100 meters. And we'll do the other one.
Hello, hello. So we're doing another line?
Yeah. We're doing the other line until they decide we're done.
Okay.
You let me know when you want the you want the vessel to start.
You can do your you can start your vessel move. Yeah, we're off the line now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're off survey. Yeah.
Another 100 meters, Chris?
Yeah, another 100 meters over.
So you bumped up 5 meters altitude. Do you want to maintain that? We're at 35 now.
No, you can come back down.
Drop it
We did
back.
that to get over the ridge
Roger.
because we were going through a trough.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that we got everything.
I had to bring Argus down 5 meters, Randy. Around keep it at 15.
Bridge nav, 100 meter at 030.
Okay, I'm going to pause the Norbit. Are we not? Yeah, we're not moving ahead anymore.
No, we were making the vessel move now.
Right. There's no sense in collecting a bunch of data points sitting on top of each other, so.
This feature's already starting to look quite a bit different.
Yeah. Yeah, one more line and we'll get it. It'll be pretty well. Ooh. It'll be pretty well.
So
We'll have a pretty good idea anyway.
Why does your, just in that multi-beam view there, Chris, why does your data look so choppy coming down?
That's the gritter is choking.
Oh.
I had it set too fine, so it's but I didn't really want to reset it and risk. Uh-oh. That's bad.
You wanted a pretty picture.
Oh no, we're fine. Yeah, I got greedy. But the data's logged, so it's not a problem.
Yeah, we're going to take up about 45.
Just give you a little update, Mike. We're at 23.5 knot winds right now.
Yeah. It's
pretty similar to yesterday.
Yeah. I think we're okay. We still got, we're much happier like as we were yesterday when we had the current and the wind on the same bearing, right. So
yep.
It's pretty.
Mike, what are you thinking about recovery time? At 1,600 meters, is it over an hour and a half?
So I was going to say 15 by, oh, we're only at, I did it at 1,800 meters, so that's not right. So I got, what, 1,600?
Usually on the way up, we're limited to about 15, I think.
Yeah. So I got 106 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, an hour 45, so by 6:15 we want to be headed up.
Yeah.
Chris said he thinks that should be fine. We're going to have a flatter area we're covering all the interesting parts by then. And then on the way up, we'll take some Niskins, so at different altitudes.
Okay.
It doesn't matter where.
Good.
Can you set a waypoint at the start of the next line?
Yep, we'll do.
Measure from where we were, not where we plan to be.
Yeah, right.
Randy, you've got those presets working in there, right? Okay, so the other Argus pilots aren't sure, so maybe go over that with them. I don't know if are they under the same buttons?
Yeah. So
you're just hitting 1 and then preset?
Yeah. 2 is
Yeah. Okay.
Dodge, 3 is
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Okay.
4 we haven't set yet, but well.
That's
yeah,
good.
sure.
That's fine. Yeah. Okay.
You see this, Chris? That's our
Say again, sorry?
Deviation. Yeah, the deviation from the previous track from our waypoint to where we were, where we ended the line.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we should.
The vessel tracked a lot better.
Yeah. Well, what we should correct, I guess, in the future. Maybe we should increase altitude a little bit and get a little bit wider swath and step over a little further.
Yep. You want to go back to 35 or maybe 40?
Yeah, let's go to 35. So how high can we safely count on DVL tracking?
I'd say with this terrain, I think we're certainly good to 50. 35 or 40 is pretty good.
Okay.
No problem, I don't think.
Let's do 35.
Roger. Holding up.
And then maybe we can cheat it a little bit. Get a little bit more distance.
Right, yeah.
Hang on, I have a thing for this. Yeah, 130.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we can give it a shot, and we can always adjust on the fly too.
Roger.
So we'll overshoot our point. Maybe bring it to 115 meters.
So Jeff, if you remember from last time, Argus never really came back. It always stayed over here.
Yeah.
So try and drive Argus more toward the point. So overshoot whatever Chris is asking for by, I don't know, 10 or 15 meters or something.
Roger. Bridge nav 010 at 030. Yes.
I come down like 2 meters there, Randy.
Roger.
So we're pulling the vessel up here,
Mm-hmm.
but do you think more north would pull?
Where's the start of the line meant to be?
Vessel's here. Start of line is just somewhere over here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's okay if we're south of it. Like when we go on, we'll get on it.
Okay.
So just, but he's going to lay back a little bit. So I think like, let him go another couple of meters. I would say like Argus will fall in around here, like where it was before, that like relative distance of the ship. That kind of looks good. Doesn't need to be perfect.
We're going to complete this move. You want to hold position on the vessel or keep moving or start the line? Start the...
You could stop up here and then we'll wait 3 to 5 minutes and see where Argus goes. And then you just bump over again if you have to.
Roger.
Yeah.
Bridge, I'll stop. Please, thank you.
And we're what, looking for a 305 heading, I think?
Measure our last track, not the ship. Yeah.
Should I wait to stabilize, Mike, and then I follow?
305, roughly.
Yep. So this time, do me a favor as we go. Every couple minutes, just check our distance to the previous line.
Okay.
Right, and then we can bump it over on the fly if we need to maintain spacing.
Roger. Where's the waypoint on there?
Right
Okay.
here, so
Yeah.
we're going to...
All right. That's looking pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's a plenty wide swath.
Hey, Randy, follow Herc around a little there.
All right, roger. Turning to port.
Okay. Am I in line with that waypoint yet?
Yeah, you're looking pretty good. Yep.
Yeah.
You want to start the vessel move?
Yeah, I think we can do that.
Okay. Bridge nav, 400 meters at 305. Thank you. Yeah, Chris, and I'll keep an eye out on that delta from our other line.
This looks like we'll have plenty. So
Yeah.
Okay, Randy, you can probably take up that heading too. We're pretty much better lined up than we were on the last one.
Roger.
305.
Yeah. Putting the 305.
Once we get here online, I'll drop a target at the other end.
yep, perfect.
Is this delta depth good for you, Mike?
Yeah, just try and maintain 15. Yeah. It's good now. And ship's on the move, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is Herc in line
Yeah,
with that target?
Yeah, we've had the same problem. I don't know. I've tried all the combinations, unfortunately. I was like, oh, you got them up side by side. I'm like, oh, wait, that wasn't the problem. No, unfortunately. Huh. How did Tim? Tim did a thing. Hang on, let me. Norbit laptop. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it would be really nice if we could use this monitor, but the KVM system is very fussy.
Okay. Starting the line.
Great, thank you. 21 minutes. Oh, wait, what target?
I'll drop that target.
Okay. It's like...
How long did that last line take? Do you remember?
40 minutes.
40 minutes.
I think we're just going to make it.
I mean, if it's that close, you know, and everybody in the back wants to do it. I mean, we can finish the line and just drop plate and come up faster too.
Yeah.
The map is pretty neat looking.
Yeah,
Got some
it's coming
good,
out okay.
Yeah.
This is all just dead reckoning only too, so we have some alignment issues, but I was just now getting to the point of integrating the USBL too, so. But with the new USBL, I think that's that fused with the dead reckoning position, I think is plenty of precision for this sort of map.
This USBL is so much better than
Yeah,
the other
it's
ones.
super nice. So this will be a good testing data set to get that dialed in.
Good, good.
Not more heaving in this direction, or at the moment anyway.
Hey, Jeff, what is the range between these contour lines?
Those are 10-meter contours.
10-meter contours? All right.
We're still got that offset.
Yeah, we'll live with it for now. I can't have, I got to get out of the autos for you to reset it.
Yep. These jellyfish seem to be able to respond. They kind of tighten up as we approach them.
Most of those are ctenophores, which are comb jellies.
Oh.
So there's not much to them.
There's a really cool article I read about comb jellies and seeing their interior structure today. Some scientists in Florida found that it was an accident. They were preparing slides and they put Rain-X on the slide, I guess, routinely to, keep the slides clear, kind of the same way. Reason we put it on our windshields, but they put a little bit too much on, and it actually improved their ability to see the structure of the jellies.
That's impressive.
Yeah. And there's a side-by-side image of one prepared in the normal way versus with the Rain-X. But it was funny because they almost threw the slides away. They almost thought, well, this is complete waste.
We screwed up and
Yeah,
they discovered something.
exactly.
No,
Sponsored by Rain-X.
Yeah.
It's a good marketing campaign.
ctenophores might be some of my favorite invertebrates.
What do you like about them?
Well, I really like one type that's called a burrowie, that they basically are just like a giant mouth, and they just come up and open their mouth and eat things.
Like anything that's in their way.
It's kind of like a Pac-Man. Like, it looks like a Pac-Man. And I just remember, like, during undergrad, that was kind of my first introduction to the invertebrate world, and I was like, this is the greatest creature that ever exists.
Where did you first see them?
Like off a boat basin in Oregon.
Yeah.
We
So
need to
scuba
slow
diving
down.
or
We getting a
swim-
little
Just
ways.
off the, like, just leaning over
Yeah,
the
but
dock.
Yeah.
It's pretty flat except
they're
for the
shallow
feature.
water.
I'm not really
Yeah,
worried
some of
about it.
those.
That layback is excessive.
And then
But,
they showed us videos.
It's okay. I mean,
Oh
I'm
my
keeping up with
God.
Argus.
Okay.
Clearly invertebrates were meant for me if I get that.
There's a lot of invertebrate love out here. Everybody has their favorite.
It's because they're the coolest.
Yes.
So does that mean you have a favorite, Tammy?
Well, I really like nudibranchs,
Yeah.
so.
Well, the ones in Hawaii are pretty spectacular, right?
Yeah, I mean,
How's our
Philippines
how's our
has probably
good,
the
or do we need a heading?
Oh.
best variety, I would say, maybe.
No, I don't think
I
so,
don't
but-
know.
Yeah, so far the line looks
They're
good.
all over. It's surprising, like you get really colorful, beautiful ones, and then you kind of get ones that are, oh, wow, I didn't even realize that was a nudibranch or anything. But yeah, it's to the point where I follow on Instagram about nothing but nudibranchs.
I mean, I know somebody who goes on their only dive trips are with nudibranch groups
Really?
that go out and their goal is to take pictures of nudibranchs and go see nudibranchs.
I
Are
must
these, like,
find this
tourist
group.
groups, or
Yeah.
it's tourist groups?
Yeah. Tourist groups. Tammy, we'll find you this group.
Yes,
I know somebody who's done several, like, vacation dive trips that way.
these are my people. I just got really excited. You have no idea.
I'm surprised you haven't found them yet.
I haven't been diving as much as I wish. That's probably part of it. I don't like cold water.
Same. That's why dry suits were invented.
Yes.
Randy, do you mind running through the gauges quick there?
Sure.
See them.
Yeah, this hasn't changed for main conf. Graph is the same.
Okay.
Motor is the same. High voltage comps similar. And the reservoir is, yeah, similar.
Okay, good. Thanks.
No problem.
Chris, do you expect any appreciable sound speed, like variability across a survey like this? No, because we're so close to the seafloor.
Yeah, I think it's pretty consistent here. I mean, we can measure it, like we can see, right? We've been through all the depths that there are at this site, so we can.
We have all the data you would need if there
Yeah.
were.
But I don't think.
I wouldn't think so either.
No.
Maybe with a site where there are active vents or something, right?
Yeah. When we were, I think it was on subsea when we did some of the venting things, the sound just didn't even come back. There's just a hole there.
That makes it hard to map.
I was like, oh.
We were doing some neat stuff on that one, though, where mapping on that like long exploratory transit, we were able to see different geological features.
Right.
Falling in 1 meter.
Roger.
Right about now is when I'd like to put a plug in for AUVs, and the fact that they would be doing this and not us maybe next year.
The fact that you don't have to be tied to the ship is huge for this sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, and let the robot that, you know, is autonomous do the mapping.
Do the autonomous thing, yeah.
Sampling and visual exploration.
Yeah, they can have that work. Any problem with that?
My advisor used to say autonomous robots are for what is dull, dirty, or dangerous. I'll let you guys decide which one this falls into. I love mapping, but this is a very slow process.
Yeah. Yeah, an AUV would be quicker too. You can cover a lot more area.
Yeah. So we should be testing out 2 robots with mapping systems on expeditions early next year. We're planning to bring the Mola, which is a University of Southern Mississippi AUV, out on a Line Islands expedition. And we'll hopefully work up to dual operations where it could be off mapping, doing something, and we'll be exploring either an area it has mapped or we've mapped with the ship. And then on another cruise, we'll have NUI, which is a Woods Hole vehicle operating in a mapping mode at Johnston Atoll. And again, hopefully the idea is that the ship is out there as host for these robots, and it could be off doing something while we're ROVing or mapping.
Yeah.
Bit more logistical planning, but your gains are just so huge.
That's, yeah. And ultimately what we're trying to do with, you know, telepresence and the satellite bandwidth that we have is be able to have some of the robotics experts on shore, because we're berth limited, as all ships are. So we have room for 31 people right now on the science and operations team. And when you start adding extra robotics teams, those are, you know, pretty large teams typically. So usually around 5 to what we have 6 pilots on the ship for 24-hour ROV cruises. So telerobotics is our next goal for some of these missions. Jeff, are you thinking of things that you'll be able to do with a map, this high resolution map of this site? Or are there specific things you might be looking at?
Yeah, hopefully the high resolution map can kind of reveal the mechanism that created this and then what processes have altered it into its current state. And coupled with some of the information we get from the the push cores and some of the chemistry could give us an idea of how a unique feature like this forms here at 1,500 meters water depth.
What is your current hypothesis for this being very active on Saturday morning and not being active today?
Well, looking at the on bottom location where we mapped the seep 2 days ago, there's clearly a lot of gas in the sediments and there's seepage going on. I kind of envision a shallow reservoir of gas that kind of fills up and then periodically punches through and then empties, only to kind of seal again, and there's some resident time that you need to wait. Could be a little bit more random than that, but with what the ROV just kind of poking into the seafloor causing bubbles to release, to me says it's a very on the edge of releasing at any time.
Do you think a site like this, it might be that there's more clay content that kind of seals up the pore space so you don't get a continuous flow, and then it, kind of catastrophically goes after there's enough pressure built up? Or is there something else under the surface that is preventing a more continuous flow?
Oh, take a look at the push cores, see if it's, the clay. We're in the deeper water. You would expect finer particles, finer sediment to be deposited. But this seems a pretty superficial process going on. So I don't know how much of the gas in the seep that we looked at is related to the formation of this 400-meter structure is still a little unclear. Whether we're kind of at the tail end of this seep location's life cycle, that this was a much larger active feature at some point and then has kind of gone into its waning phase.
I guess some of the fauna that we found, like the dead clams, might suggest that it's at a waning phase, right? I think they found a lot of dead clam shells, but not live clams.
Yeah, whatever is seeping is a very isolated spot on this large thing. But it did look like the high spots were carbonate, kind of crust on the higher topography. And then what forms the ring is there collapse in the center.
And then we found 2 berms, which we haven't seen at the other sites this year.
Yeah, hopefully we can, the high resolution map already has given us more detail than what we saw from the shipboard with the continuous, the ring, the high spot, the ridge not being continuous, which is pretty interesting. And then hopefully we'll be able to track out where the carbonate outcrops are and if there's any failures or land kind of wall collapses that could indicate, you know, more pervasive mechanism of this kind of collapse into the center.
Right, because one of the things we'd hoped was that it might be a hydrate reservoir, but we didn't find any exposed hydrate.
And this is one of three kind of features that are circular with depressions and high spots here in this line, in this area. There's one to the north and south of here that just on their size and overall shape that they maybe have a similar process that created them. What do you think?
Can you drop a target
Yeah.
16 meters to starboard of Hercules?
Yeah, you want to give that a name?
Yeah, there was just
target.
there was just a long, persistent bright return in the water column. But I don't know. It didn't look streaky, so I don't know if it was bubbles, but it was there for longer than a fish or something typically is.
Yeah. Did you see it move was it at the same height?
It was at the same height. That's the only reason I'm not totally convinced. But it was just weird that it was there for so long, and it was very bright.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? It was 14 meters down. So that's significantly above the above the bottom.
Yeah, yeah.
We can also replay this water column data, like, quickly and post and just have a look at it.
Bridge nav. 040 meters at 305.
Out a meter.
The vessel's at the target.
Yeah.
Hercules is in tow, almost. Yeah, how much memory is on that thing?
Yeah. I got KVM got stuck again. This thing has a lot of memory. You don't want surveys to go badly because you ran out of memory.
Right. As we're finishing up this survey, I realized that the Niskins they want us to take actually require us to go back down to this towards the seafloor. So the first one would be at 20 meters, and then 30 meters, and then 40 meters altitude.
Okay.
Can you do them backwards?
I suppose, but we'd have to go up and then down.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're at 35, right? So
yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
But then you'd have to go, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start from the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Just get them on the way up. You mean on the way
Yeah.
surface? Yeah.
Makes it far less complicated data recording wise.
Right.
We only have
Let's just
5
start
minutes
at
left.
30 and then go to 20 and finish up with 40.
As we're going through the data, why did you do this?
Yeah, you won't trust yourself, like the notes afterwards.
No.
You're like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.